All right. Awesome. How can I help you?
Well, I got three deals going, and
Nice.
I'm pretty good at talking with people and getting them done.
Okay.
I've just got so much going on to follow through, and I don't have the connections yet to. So I'm thinking I may need to JV on a couple of them.
Okay.
Real quickly, my oldest one did not deal with you guys. I bought it the end of last year. It was in a probate estate in Jacksonville. I handled that. I got everything done with it. It's completed, ready to close. I need 127 grand to close on it. The after repaired value on it is going to be about 215. It definitely needs some, sprucing up and everything. I think that's the way to sell it. Right now, I listed it out, for some other, but everybody else is not the end buyer. Everybody else is somebody that's wanting to flip it to somebody else, and they don't really have anybody lined up, if you know what I mean. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, a lot of daisy chain.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if you could help me with that one or not, or if you even want to.
Well,
That's the first.
let's take a look at it. I mean, I've got everything dialed in for our calculator specifically
Yeah.
for our buyers. So,
Okay.
I mean, I can tell you right now. What did this one's off market?
It's off market.
Okay. What's the ARV?
The ARV is 215, 215,000.
And what is the rehab estimate? What are you thinking?
Uh, I think it's gonna need 38,000 is what I think. Uh, if we go in and redo the roof, which I don't think it needs, but if we did the roof and did a
Hmm.
couple of other things, we'd probably be closer to 50.
Okay. And then what are you trying to make on an assignment fee for this one?
Um, Actually, very little on this one. I wanted to help the lady out that's in there. Right now with escrow, they need $127,300 to close it as it sits.
Hmm.
That's with her, and she needs $2,500 to move into an apartment. So that's my fees. That's everything she needs without me making any money on it.
Gotcha. I mean, the problem is that even if you didn't make a dollar on this thing, with the numbers that you gave me, according to this, I'm looking at an MAO of only $101,000. Now, granted, my my criteria is a little bit more strict than most people. I'm running at 65% of ARV. If I change it to 75%, which is the absolute highest that I would ever do, without you making a dollar, if these numbers are accurate, then the most you could ever offer would be $123,250.
Got it.
So
Okay.
I don't know if that'll be the best deal for you to move forward with, to be honest with you, which is probably why you've tried to push it out before and no one bid on it. That's probably why.
Yeah, and when I got involved with it, I was thinking we were going to get it for about. I was thinking we were going to get it for like 87,000. But the lady had when her mom had died, they had other expenses in it. They had some liens on it, some other things, and
Hmm.
through title and stuff, we figured that out, and we've actually helped her get rid of a lot of it. But it ends up being 127,000 because of all the stuff that had taken place and the foreclosure they had tried to start on it and everything, paying it off.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that one, I may have somebody interested in helping me on that coast, and I'll take like 5 grand on it, probably from them, and they'll take it over and they're a rehabber, and
Oh, good, good.
maybe that's just the best thing for me to do there.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Okay, on these other two, my newest one is 6053 Firestone Road.
Okay. And what kind of deal is that?
It's Jacksonville. It's a subject to.
Gotcha.
I've
Okay.
got contract in front of me, and I'll go over the highlights of it.
Sure.
Uh,
What's the mortgage balance?
the mortgage balance is 192 658.
Okay. And what's the PITI?
Uh, it is $913,
All right. And what's the interest rate?
3.6%.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's a decent one. This one, on the realtor, they were asking 225 for it, but when I finally started talking with them, it was 225, and then you take over 2 payments they had put in a new central air unit, and they had
Hmm.
put in a new water filtration system throughout the house. And those were 18,000 more. So I said, that's not going to work. So then they came back to me and and we went back and forth a little bit. So I had offered them like 212,000 to do that. So what we ended up doing was they came out of pocket. They got some kind of money in and they paid off the new air, everything's renovated with the property. It's like new. So they paid that off and I got it for 223.
Okay.
And that was subject to taking over that 192,658 loan.
Gotcha. All right. And then what's the cash to seller? What are they getting out of the deal?
28,342.
Okay. And what other place rent for?
1564 is what it showed on my thing that I checked.
Are we paying realtor commissions on this one?
Yes, they're coming out of the 28,342.
Oh, okay. So then we're not paying it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So he said 943 was hold on a second.
913.
913. Okay. So 913, yeah, because it rounded up to the 3.6. I mean, yeah, the deal works. The only thing that is a little high on this deal
is the cash down.
Yeah, it's the cash down. I mean,
and see, I had it with a lot less cash down, but then we had to take over that 18,000. And
so that the 18,000 that we're taking over,
we're not taking that over. They paid it off.
And this is to recuperate them for paying it off?
Yeah.
Got it. I mean, 20 would be a lot better.
I know.
Is there any chance we can get this to 20?
Well, I can go back to them. I've signed a contract with them. I have to do an EMD in the next couple of days with whatever we're going to do. I have till the 28th to close on it of this month.
Okay.
They want 2,000 down on the EMD. They've already opened title. I've already got it in. I had to really look around. Steward title, I tried to put it in. That's the one I told you about, and you told me steward title.
Yeah, usually they're pretty fantastic. What happened?
Yeah, they wouldn't get back with me. And I know Jacksonville. I grew up there. I'm in California. I'm in LA. I'm in Orange County. But yeah, I tried to get a hold of somebody. I kept leaving numbers and stuff, and they wouldn't get back with me. That was in the downtown Jacksonville one.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
So I said, and so long story short, this realtor said, actually, I've dealt with a couple of other sub-twos and they've used this company. And she gave me the lady's name, and I called up, and it's an attorney's office that does these. So I talked to him for a second. He seemed straightforward. He seemed like, yeah, that we just have to, dot a couple of I's, cross a couple of T's, but we can make this work. And then they hooked me up with Pamela, who started the title stuff right away. I just got a copy of some of it that was just sent to me. Title looks good on it, but it's got everything's been done. It's 1,037 square foot. You can go on any of the sites, Zillow or whatever, and you can go through the pictures. I have the same pictures.
Gotcha.
It's sitting on just under a half acre, like 0.4.
Gotcha.
And it's in 32244, which is just across the river and close to downtown. So location's pretty decent.
I mean, as far as the numbers are concerned, is there an HOA or anything we have to worry about?
No HOA.
Okay. As far as the numbers are concerned, the cash on cash return is great. And if the property's in really good shape, rent ready, that's awesome. If we could get it at $20,000 down, that would be much better. But at $28,000 down, I know it's 28 and some change, but at $28,000 down, I mean, as long as we're under 20, we should be good to move the deal. And then if we need to adjust it, we can adjust it. You see what I'm saying? Like if a buyer comes to us and say, hey, I can only give you X amount of dollars down. If we need to adjust our down payment to the seller, then we can try and adjust at that point.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I worked with her. At first they said they did not want to do sub two. You know, I worked with them for the week, back and forth, especially on the 18 grand deal with the others. I didn't want to take over that payment too.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, I guess they had heard it from other people, so they paid it off. The owner got some money in and paid it off. So then I came back to them with, and then they were like, well, if you could come up with just a little bit more money so they could recoup some of their money from paying that 18 grand down. And looking at it, I said the same thing. I said, I think it's a little high to go on a down on that property. It just seemed like it was. But, you know,
What did you offer them down the first time?
I offered them 212 for the property.
Okay.
And so the down would have been between 212 down to 192.
No, but what did you offer them for the down payment the first time?
Yeah. So between, let's see. So I offered them 212,000.
Oh, you're saying you offered them the difference. Okay.
The difference. So minus the 192, 658. So I offered them 19,300 down.
So then $20,000. If you go back to them with $20,000.
Yeah. Then I would have picked up another 18 grand in cost. So that 212 plus 18 would have put it at 230.
Gotcha.
I would have been buying it. So this way it's,
yeah, then you would have had to do a hybrid.
But then it's a higher down. I was playing with that.
I mean, we can try it. I mean, I always say if there's, I mean, I'm not saying this has a 1% chance of closing, but I always say, even if a deal has a 1% chance of closing, let's go for it.
Okay. So do you want to take this one on with me, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, we can do that. All you have to do is go to the Discord channel.
Okay.
And you're going to see on the left side, you'll see it says disposition channel.
Okay.
And there's a form there at the top. You scroll all the way to the top, and you're basically just going to copy and paste what's there into an email to me, fill it in, and send it over to me with a copy of the contract and the photos. Okay. And then there's a how-to video in the same channel at the bottom, showing you step by step how to fill it out.
So will you take this over and help? Because like I said, she's put in a text to me like, you know, it's coming up. You need to do an inspection pretty soon, and you need to get an EMD over to me pretty soon of $2 grand or whatever. And
we can take this deal. Where have you tried to market it? Let's start there and just make sure that we're not going to be overlapping.
Yeah, the only place I know that I've tried to put it on, I've gone on Facebook, and I went on to groups, and I was looking at investor groups in Jacksonville and around that area. And I had like 3 or 4 people, individuals, one guy named Omar I've talked to before, and a couple of people. And I sent out, none of these people have come through for me on anything I've ever done with them though. And I just sent out some basics. I didn't sign anything with anybody. I just said, take a look at this and see if you want to do something with it with me. But I don't have anything signed. I would say just in the last 2 days, I've done it with maybe 3 people to take a look.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll tell you what, get that form filled out, and you can DM it directly to me. You can literally copy and paste it into a DM to me, fill it in, let me see the contract, and then get me, do you have the mortgage statement?
No, I don't have the mortgage statement. I can call her and tell her to send it to me.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll call her and tell her to send me the mortgage statement just so I have it, and that I'm going to pass this over to an associate that's going to handle this to get it done so that she's not having to run. I'll just say it that way.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Yeah. Okay. And because I did it under Red Frog LLC, which is my LLC, and or signs.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, we'll see if we can push it to one of our buyers, and we'll put a step on it.
Okay, so that's this one. You got about 5 minutes for the next one?
Absolutely.
Okay. So the Jacksonville one I'll do. The probate one I'll figure out I'll do with somebody else. This one here, this is the one I mentioned to you before, I think when we were on air or something, and I kind of talked about it, and you said, yeah, probably work. This lady, the realtor is Angie. The property is in Wisconsin, Lodi, Wisconsin. There's not a lot of people in that town. You had mentioned that before too, like 3,200. It's right beside Madison, and the house is nice. The neighborhood's a higher affluent neighborhood, and I've seen that a lot of professors from the school and stuff live over there and stuff like that. So that's where we start with it. I went to them. The long story short, the owners are somehow related to her. They're younger and they're getting a divorce. So
Okay.
it's a divorce sale. They went in, they've got money in the place, they fixed it up. They were asking 275 for it. At one point they would have taken a little less, but we went back to the 275 and we got a purchase price of 275.
So wait, hold on. I want to make sure I'm following along. What kind of deal is this? Is this a hybrid?
It's a sub-2.
Sub-2. Okay.
Yeah, and this is a hybrid.
This will be a hybrid. Okay.
I
So what
did a hybrid on it to make it work, so it's interesting. Okay, so there's 275,000.
Okay.
Again, the down on this is considerably higher than normal, but you'll understand the reasoning when I get through with it. The down on it for us to put down would be 38,000. Realtor fees come out of the 38,000.
Okay.
Okay, if you take 38,000 away from the 275, there's two more numbers here that'll make the 275. The first one is the mortgage balance, which is 169,416, and that is a 3% mortgage.
Okay.
And the rate on that PITI is 1234 and 82 cents.
Okay.
Okay, so that left a difference from the down of $69,083.32.
Okay.
So in talking to her, they wanted to try to get at least 10,000 each.
Wait, what are you coming up with the seller finance amount?
Okay, let me finish that and then I'll get back to my,
Okay.
my saying
All right.
there.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
$69,083.32 is a 7-year note with no interest.
Okay.
And that's it.
What'll it rent for?
2,300. Oh, I'm sorry, 2,600.
Okay. So we have a total purchase price of 275,000, a mortgage balance of 169,500, seller finance equity $69,000, and a down payment of $38,000.
You got it.
Okay. So let's go to the hybrid.
I was going to offer less down, and I did, but she did the calculations on what they needed, and they if they could get 10,000 each and walking away, because they're never going to see each other again. They just want to split and get away from it. They had no problem with taking the money later at 7 years to get out of the house.
But then why are we at 38 if they wanted 10
because
grand?
there was some things that they had to pay, some debts they had to pay, and 10,000 apiece, and her getting her commission. That totaled 38,000.
How much is the realtor commission?
I think.
Do you know how much she's charging? What percentage?
I think it's 4%. It's either 4% or 5%. I think she told me 4%. So
$11,000 of this $38,000 is going to the realtor. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a nice relative.
It's a relative that's the realtor?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, how much are we giving them monthly on the seller finance portion? What did you
Zero, nothing. It's a 0% interest for 7 years.
They just wanted paid out in 7 years.
So basically they're getting their money. They're getting some money up front and they're getting the money on the back end.
Yeah. I mean, the cash on cash return is pretty good. The 7 year for 69,000, it's basically a 7-year balloon, no payments, no interest. That's phenomenal. Yeah. And that might be enough to move the needle to get it moved, but 18.75% because of an $11,000, I don't like that at all. So this should actually only be $27,000. You know what? We'll do 30. No, that's not enough. We'll give her 5. We'll do 32,000.
Yeah. And here's where we're at on this.
And that's hold on. Yeah, and even that is still not great, but I'm not trying to not give her anything either.
Okay.
So I would much rather do it.
Here's where you'll like what I'm going to tell you next. So this has taken place over about 2 weeks from her having to leave town and go over to South Carolina for some kind of a convention or something and coming back. We're still on the phone back and forth talking. She originally ran this by her realty office, who they were like, no, we don't do those. They're not legal here, whatever. Then she called me back and she says, they really need to do this. I want to work with you. I actually took a form to fill out to show her how to do it, because she doesn't even know how to do one of these. Last we talked was this morning. She texted me, Bob, if you could get back with me, I'm trying to figure out from the things you've sent me how to write this up or whatever. So actually, we're in the stage where she wants to do it. I think if you took this, you could tweak what I've done and connect it and just explain to her the differences here and probably pull this together. You may be able to get better.
You want me to get on the phone and close this with the real estate agent?
No, I want you to do the contract part, because she doesn't have any friggin' clue how to do the contract or nothing on this thing.
I mean, I can send her the contract and then she can just copy whatever she needs to copy from my contract onto hers, or just use ours.
Yeah.
Ours is a little more in depth anyway. I mean, yeah, that's fine. I can do that. You just have to do a.
Okay.
Or actually, no. You don't even have to do that. You can do the contract. I actually just uploaded it this morning. If you go into the contracts channel in Discord, there's literally, it says contracts subject to hybrid. Click on that channel. There's the blank contract is there, and a video showing you step by step how to fill it out. You can do it yourself. She doesn't even have to do it.
Okay, so watch the video and just do it myself?
Yeah, absolutely. It's literally step by step. And once you get it uploaded into DocHub or DocuSign, it's literally just putting boxes where they need to be.
So with this one, assuming I do that and I get that done and over to her, is this one do you have people that you think you could you help dispo this one, or what do you think?
I mean, yeah, your cash on cash return is really good. What city is this in again? It's
Lodi.
Yeah, that's the other issue. So
it's in Lodi, Wisconsin.
What's the population of Lodi, Wisconsin?
I haven't checked it. I believe you told me 3,200.
Lodi, Wisconsin population.
Right next to Madison.
Yeah, it's 3,200. So that is definitely going to be an issue you've got working against you, because a lot of buyers, they're not going to be in Lodi, Wisconsin. They're going to be in Madison, Wisconsin, Green Bay, Milwaukee.
So let me ask you this. How should I tweak this before I do the contract? Tweak it with her to make this better for us to do, since we're talking those numbers and stuff. What do you think I could do to tweak this to benefit us a little bit on it, and before I write that contract up?
Well, the down payment needs to be $27,000, max $27,500, and her commission can't be $11,000. It has to be $5,000.
So her taking $5,000 commission.
Yep, it'll be a $5,000 commission, and that way now the cash to seller is going from $38,000 to $27,000, or it's going from $38,000 to $32,000. 27 for the sellers and 5,000 for her.
Okay, that makes sense to me. So 32, and then 5,000 go on to commission for her.
Correct.
Okay.
And even then, I'm not guaranteeing that we can move this, because it's in such a small town. Like, I don't know how many buyers we're going to find that are going to be willing to invest, even with a good cash on cash return, in such a small area. So we will push it the best that we can, but I want to make sure I set the proper expectations. This isn't a guarantee. This is still a long shot, even if you're able to get them to agree to those numbers.
Okay. I'll work on that one with her today, and I'll get the numbers right before I send it to her. And then on the other one, I will go to Dispo channel, copy and paste, and I'll send this other one over to you. And then you can look it over, and then how should I work this with the realtor? Should I just tell her that you'll be in touch, or
no? You don't. We're still going to use you as our point of contact. So my disposition team will start to push the deal, and as we get buyers that are interested, we'll let you know so that you can schedule walkthroughs with the realtor.
Yeah, because she's wanting to do that soon, she says. I may have to extend it out the way she's written it up. And then
Yeah, you may have
the
to.
other thing is the EMD. They're wanting $2,000 on the EMD to go, in the next few days or so.
I mean, do they know you're wholesaling the property?
I told them that, we do this a lot, but we're gonna be putting somebody in the property that's going to be taking over the property, is how I put it. So I'm not physically going to be in that property. I'm going to have somebody else, take over that property.
Gotcha. So that might be their confusion as to why the EMD isn't put down, because they're not clear that we're wholesaling the property and that the EMD is going to be put down by the buyer.
That's probably
and
true.
Because we haven't found a buyer yet, that's why the EMD isn't down.
Right.
Okay. So, I mean, you've got a couple of choices. I'm very blunt and direct. So I tell people up front, hey, we're going to wholesale this. We'll find a buyer, we'll get it moved, but we're wholesaling it. That kind of alleviates having these issues down in the future, of the deal. But in this situation, since that's not entirely an option, you can either say, hey, look, I'm wholesaling this deal. I haven't found a buyer yet. When I find a buyer, we'll put the EMD down, or if you want, we can just cancel. That's my takeaway. Or you can say, hey, look, I need a couple of days before I can put the EMD down. Can you give me an extra 3 days?
Gotcha.
And then just see if they give it to you and hope that they don't ask why.
Yeah. Okay. So usually within 2, 3, 4 days, we have somebody lined up. Is that kind of what I'm hearing?
Yeah, usually within the first 72 to 96 hours, we'll have some idea of who's interested in the deal. Is the deal movable? Do we have, people that are looking at it, and we're lining up walkthroughs at that point.
Gotcha.
After about 5 days of dispositioning the deal with no movement, that's when we're giving out like what are they called? Price reductions. I forgot because we don't do them very often. We usually do price reductions to generate buzz and see if we can figure out why the deal's not moving.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's what I'm calculating now. I told you I'm 65. Hold on, let me turn this off. I'm 65. I've done, I think I counted one time. I've done like 35 or 36 properties in my life. And I've gone through spurts back in the 2000s and stuff. And I've done the Burr method. I've renovated properties. I had a couple of commercial medical buildings at one time.
Nice.
But right now, I just turned 65. I'm semi-retired basically. And I'm looking at different things to do. I like this. I'm sending out a bunch of these things. I'm getting a lot of response and stuff. I've never really done the sub-2s. I've kind of understood it. I've done wraps in the past and everything. But I think I'm kind of a rainmaker. I can probably talk to people and get things locked up. But I'm thinking it might be in my best interest to see, on the one hand, I don't want to, but on the other hand, it might be. Like if I got 10 of these things in, maybe it's better to JV with somebody and get the dispo done for me and not have to worry about that and move on and do what I like doing, or what I, talking and getting the deal done. Maybe sometime in the future I could, move into doing it all, but I'm a one-man show on this,
Sure. No, I got you. And a lot of people utilize, regardless of their method or their business model for wholesaling, a lot of people utilize a disposition team to JV with. Some people are just better at locking up deals and don't really care about learning how to or dealing with dispositioning deals. So yeah, that's not a problem. I mean, we can always help you move the deal. We just got to make sure that the deals are movable.
Yeah, because back at the beginning of last year, I had a trucking company going. I had some other things going, and I had 2 deals I found through doing PPC stuff, and one in South Carolina and one in Georgia. And I made about $37,000 on the 2 of them, and I got it like within the same week. And I was thinking, this is great. This is like wholesaling. It's really great. It kind of fell into my lap, but I hadn't had anything else fall into my lap like that since. So it's, I need to be marketing, and PPC is an animal I don't really want to jump into right now,
Yeah, PPC is expensive too.
I was going to say it's very expensive.
Yeah, PPC is expensive. Now, when you've got something like Deal Sniper, where you can just send out offer after offer and it's almost unlimited because there's so many properties listed, more properties listed every day, yeah, you're better off going that route, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay. So I will get this one over to you in just a bit.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
Sounds good. Let me know if you need help with anything else.
I will. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Not a problem. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.